Here we go, guys. Game 2 of this round 1 set. We are ready to watch the outcome of OMG Originals versus OMG Omega. As you can see, these sides flip because OMG Omega is now, P's and B's. They're going to be first pick, first ban here. Susano being banned here, not really sure why. He's not really first pick worthy, or first ban worthy, or first pick worthy, in my opinion. Izanami, I can see why she's first banned. She's quite the scary ADC here, and I just want to see how the rest of this goes, and let's see how this turns out for them. If OMG Omega can pull out the second win from their set, or if your daddy OMG and the rest of his OMG Originals can pull through with the split. But let's see how this goes.
And Izanami is going to be that first ban there. Like you're saying, definitely a scary ADC. Shuts down a lot of gods. That double tap on her basic is ridiculous.
Just kind of like these picks and bans go. I just want to say that we're gonna let's try to analyze a lot of how things are going for the P's and B's side of this game. A lot of people have said in the past that people win through the P's and B's screen alone. Ardio being banned out because they do have first pick and they just want to get rid of it, because I believe OMG Omega had the Ardio last game. I already forgot, so don't blame me. And Susano being that ban out again.
Yes,
maybe it might be
Omega did have the Ardio.
Yeah, and maybe the Susano pick, or ban rather, is a direct ban coming out for Vengeance, I believe was their ADC. Or not ADC, their jungler. Oh no, it was Gambit. Gambit being their jungler. I think maybe he has a supreme, god tier Susano. So maybe they're just like, hey, dude, I know you're good with him, so let's just not give it to him.
Yeah, definitely. If you've done your research, you don't want to give those gods to your opponents that they just are super comfortable with. And this time, like we were talking about last time, both Cullen and Ardio getting banned out right away. So it looks like OMG Originals just not wanting Omega to get their hands on either one of them.
Yeah, again, really.
And it looks like, and since they don't have first pick, they just don't want to risk either one of them going to the other team.
I agree. I will say though, this Susano ban really kind of hinders a lot of picks. Or not really hinders them. Well, yeah, kind of in a sense. I guess I'm going to continue with my train of thought there. Kind of hinders them because a lot more things can be banned out that are going to be bad against them. For example, Odin's still up, and if OMG Originals pick up this Odin, this could definitely counter this Erling in the sense that he can cage him in. Erling has no escape, is going to have to get a Phantom. So, but the Raijin ends up getting picked up. Very interesting. That is a powerful pick, and a Khepri being hovered over, possibly for their support. Now, like I said, Odin is still up, and that's kind of surprising that nobody has picked him during the first rounds of the picks. And he just slips on through. Let's see if anybody picks him up on the side of OMG Omega. But Khepri, I don't remember the last time. I don't remember the last time I saw a Khepri being one of the top 2 picks for a team. Poseidon being picked up again on the side of OMG Omega. It was a great pick first round. Might as well give it back to him again. And looking for this last pick out of the top 3 during the first P's and B's phase.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Khepri pick, but like you're saying, just doesn't need to be so early. I mean, you could have taken that as your third pick, or you could even wait till the second round. Typically not a god that's going to be banned out, and not too common of a god, so you could definitely pick him a little bit later for that to be essentially your first pick for your team. Just isn't really necessary.
Yeah, I don't really see a Khepri being banned out. And as you were going to say, Awilix being picked up.
Yep. They are running back the Awilix. It's
no,
not
I think it's a
broke,
good
don't
pick.
fix it.
Exactly, I think it's a good pick, but I think it's kind of hard to pluck a Raijin out of his jump. And now, chat, please let me know if that's even possible to get a Raijin off of his jump away. I don't know how difficult it may be as an Awilix.
I think it's a teleport. I don't think it's a leap.
True.
So I don't think that she would be able to.
We'll see. I don't know. But looking at Legion OMG, he has the final pick during the for the side of OMG original. Sorry, got a little stuck right there. Brain fart, as it happens sometimes. But let's see who they end up picking up here. What would you like to see here before, hopefully before he locks it in? Never mind, he already locked it in. What would you have
I think
liked
you're
to see
a couple seconds ahead of me.
Oh, okay.
But like you were, that Wheelix pick definitely kind of taking that Odin option away from them. So I like the Wheelix pick. They could always still pick up Odin. No, like actually they can't with Erlang and Wheelix now. That kind of shuts down Odin being able to go solo or jungle. So he's kind of off the table for both teams. Not really having to worry about him anymore. But would have been a good pickup if they would have picked him up a little bit earlier.
Oh yeah, definitely. However, I feel like some people kind of get a little afraid when they see an Wheelix and they have an Odin. I don't think it's such a big deal because honestly, if you get plucked in by an Wheelix and you're a tanky, Odin, you can be able to survive for a little while, but you can pretty much ult and then hopefully get away in time. And the rest of your team can kind of follow up. So it's kind of a risky situation to also pull in an Odin. But hey, you never know, dude. Like sometimes there's good and bad Odins out there. You just gotta figure it out.
But definitely, I mean, just thinking about that with an Wheelix, so you don't want to give her a free pull. You want to stick to more kind of dashes and teleports at that point. So it does kind of limit it. It's not a huge deal, like you were saying, for Odin if you're tanky enough. Not a big deal. You can always just pop your ult and get away if you really need to at that point. But you definitely just don't want to really have your abilities setting her up as much as, forcing her to have to do it herself. But so far, a knock-up on every single member of OMG Originals so far. Erlang, Poseidon, and Wheelix all having a knock-up. So a lot of potential for combos coming out from that side.
Yeah. And to be honest, I kind of favor the side of OMG Originals with Legion and Your Daddy OMG. I like their team at the moment. Robin can bring in so much pressure, and he's such a bully wherever he is or wherever he goes. Khepri being able to revive somebody with his ultimate is really insane. Can cause a lot of issues if, let's say, somebody wants to blow up one person. As long as Khepri gets that ult on him, all their abilities and all their ults and everything on that one god pretty much can be negated. Scotty being picked up for Streeto. Oh, no, actually, no, Streeto is the support. So I forget who their ADC is. But either way, Scotty for ADC. I dig it. I like it. We don't really see a lot of Scotties at the in our tournaments so much. But she is a force to be reckoned with. Still puts out a lot of damage, rather. And, of course, the Raijin on their side as well does damage. Hui being hovered over. So, I don't know about your guys' games, Zito, when you guys are playing, but usually when we play our games, Hui is always banned out for some reason. And I never get to play Hui because I'm an ADC
does get banned out pretty quickly. And I know Tom enjoys playing him as well. That's one of his probably top 3 hunters, so... Yeah, he doesn't get to play him that much. He doesn't normally get banned. I would have liked to see the Kurnos pick up from them. Kurnos, his seasons being able to proc on Colder, making Colder a lot less significant, and I don't think that Hui really has that potential to shut down Colder like Kurnos would. So I would like to see that instead of Hui. But Hui, always a solid pickup. His ultimate, really good for team fights. Pretty mobile god and a lot of damage potential coming out from him. So still not a bad pickup, but a little bit of a missed opportunity being able to pick up Kurnos, who is on the table, to kind of shut Scotty down from the get-go.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I like this comp coming out from OMG Originals again, dude. 3-man frontline, 2 carries that can put so much damage alone. Sun Wukong being locked in for good here. And that is a solid team coming up from Originals. Now, I said the same thing last time. They did have a solid team during Game 1, and we saw how that turned out. Game 2 here, though, they have another solid team, and let's see how this goes. Remember, they don't have a Nemesis on the side of OMG Omega. They have an Wheelix instead, but no jumps on the side of OMG Originals. So really, it's in the...
I mean, aside from Ravana's, but it's his ultimate, so he's CC immune anyways. I don't know, I don't think that she would be able to pull Sun Wukong when he's coming down from his ultimate.
No, he can't.
I don't think that's possible. We should be able to. I'm gonna try and hit A here. Yep,
I want
brought me in the card art. So you're leaning towards OMG Originals again this time, huh? Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I like the potential from that Sun Wukong. He's definitely a force to be reckoned with. He is a hard god to lock down. Khepri, just a lot of damage, a lot of CC, and his ultimate just being able to kind of, negate a lot. There's not really any gods on the side of OMG Omega that can really pile through. I know there's a couple gods in the game that kind of negate his ultimate. Not seeing that from them. And with the early Khepri pick, I feel like that would have been a good move to go with something like a Thanatos and make that Khepri ultimate a lot less useful. So a little bit of a missed opportunity from them as well coming up there.
Yeah, and actually great call coming out from Ricky Lee here. Guys, if you don't know, Sun Wukong Dark Lord skin is banned from this tournament, so don't really know what to say here. The game has already been played. We're going to be watching it, but for those of you guys that are not paying attention, please do know shadow skins, and a lot of the skins that are banned in the SPL are banned here as well. Actually, every skin that is banned in the SPL is banned here, so keep that in mind for when you guys play your games.
Yep, definitely we'll be letting them know when we're done here. Make sure we don't have that issue again in the future.
Here we go, guys. Looks like the teams are kind of going off. Again, Poseidon is going with this Sands of Time book start. And Raijin is actually going
let me know when you get to a pausable time here.
Okay, I'm going to pause at 25 seconds. Game starts in 25 seconds. But
okay.
Raijin is going book, or rather, Sands of Time and Bumba's Mask, which there's 3 Bumbas on the side of OMG Originals, while Poseidon is going again with his normal start, which was the Sands of Time and Boot start. Now, again, we saw in the last game that Poseidon went Book of Thoth eventually, so why not just start with it? Plus, it would help with your clear. It gives you even more power at the start.
You said 25, right?
Yeah, game starts in 25 is where I paused at.
Okay, I'll be there in just 1 second. And paused.
Alright, awesome. We can start in 3, 2, 1. Let's let it rip. Now, as we see here, normal starts here. Support going mid. Jungle going right. But here we go. So I want to see how they switch up this game. Now, there were a lot of sloppy plays from both teams. I want to see if they can fix it up for themselves and kind of do something about the situation that they're going to be in. Early wards coming out for Erlang on the side of the solo side. Interesting. Not a lot of teams like to do that, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, always good to get that early map vision. Potentially could be a little bit of a waste of gold this early in the game. But I don't hate the move. Map vision definitely is a big factor in winning a game. The earlier you get it out, the better. But normally I would probably start warding at about the 2-minute mark. I wouldn't worry about it at this point. But it looks like he will get vision of the elementals there, so they can always keep that contested even if they lose the lane.
Oh yeah, and on the right side, looks like some Wukong and the Awilix or rather Erlang and the Awilix are fighting this. Robin gets the knockup and is really low. Show having to being popped. This could be a first blood on the side of OMG Omega. But they're not going to be able to pick up. Ooh, Robin is also actually really low hit.
Oh, both of them.
but I don't think he's gonna come out
Pick
of
up the
it.
kill here potentially.
He hit the level 2
no.
first.
A little bit. Yep, level 2 got a little bit of a heal.
Misses the pin, is taking damage from the archers, but I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, he rushes
Ooh.
in. This could be it.
Furlong's
He's
going
also
in.
very... This is a...
Isn't able to do enough.
Whew.
Nope.
That was a sweaty little fight there.
Both
Okay.
Wheelix and Ravana getting out with a sliver of health. Had to be less than 50 for both of them there. And while we were watching that, looks like Poseidon and Fafnir went and secured those elementals for the side of OMG Omega. So good
Now that's
moves
actually
coming up from
surprising.
them.
Yeah, Raijin and Kepri, I would believe, have a better wave clear level 1 compared to the Poseidon and the Fafnir. So I'm really surprised to see that they actually won out that lane at the moment and went for those fire Ellies, which will get you to level 2 over the, you know, mid Harpies.
Yeah, I think too it was original OMG Originals that secured them in the last game. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it was. So good to see them getting a little bit more pressure early game here.
Very true, and overall, pretty, you know, pretty chill starts coming out from both teams at the moment. Not really anything too crazy other than that early solo, you know, 2v2 fight, but both being able to get out with just, you know, a few specs of that health bar. On the left side though, Scotty doing what Scotty does, which is pressuring out the lane. She's such a bully in her lane, man.
She
I
is.
wish I could play her more. Ooh, but she's getting
Looks
ganked
like a little
here
bit of a
by...
gank coming out. Poseidon there. Quee's gonna jump in.
Ooh,
Holder's
great.
dealing a lot of... Ooh, the ultimate already from Scotty. Poseidon taking a lot of damage there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he got Huyi got a nice double bounce on that Scotty having to use her beads, but overall that was a great escape coming out from Scotty there, and that's that.
I think
on the
she
right
got
side,
level
though.
5 in the middle of the fight there. Actually,
She did,
which was kind of
actually,
lucky
yeah.
for her. So really good, you know, really kind of lucky and skillful on her part, being able to utilize that ultimate to get her escape in the nick of time.
Yeah, because they for sure would have continued going on her if she didn't have that ult to her, you know, use. And then she used that ult,
Yeah,
got the
she
Poseidon
did a
off of her, and
ton of
everybody
damage
backed
to
off.
Poseidon.
Yeah.
Yep. Well played for both teams there. It's not something you can really predict when you're looking for a gank, because you know they saw that she was only level 4, and got level 5 in the middle of it, and was able to use that to advantage. So.
Oh yeah, and right now, let's just look at the graphs really quickly. It's still early on, guys. But right now, gold difference, OMG Originals have about 200 to 300 gold over Omega, but Omega has that experience in their favor. Taking quite a little while to get this this left Harpy to be killed, but they're going to take this red Harpy as the Raijin and the Kepri will. Let's take a quick look at their builds once again. Boots coming out from Erlang, I like that. Now let's look at the Sun Wukong. Still hasn't backed just yet. Is now backing as we speak. And
but Erlang getting a little poke damage on preventing him there. He's still not able to return.
I see that they're actually 1v1ing at the moment. Let's see how this goes for him. Erlang has a superior team fight. Could be getting a spill here, but nope. Wukong gonna be able to ult away. Unfortunately, that really sucks for him because he's actually gonna just jump back down in. That was really risky, but still has that 3 to be able to get out. Those transformations.
And while that was happening, in the left lane, Scotty ult coming out, dealing a lot of damage to Huyi, pushing him back under tower, but not able to secure the kill. But getting a lot of pressure for their side, and OMG Originals is able to take the Oracles as a result.
Now, this is surprisingly having a lot more action than I anticipated, but no really confirmed so many kills coming out just yet.
Yeah, still no first blood. Well, I think we had first blood at what, 2 or 3 minutes in the last game?
Yes. Last game we had actually first blood around 4 minutes, and it is now 6 minutes in the game. So that'll be interesting to see how or who or when the first blood comes out for. So left side, Scotty getting that pressure on this Hui. Erlang backing on right side. Poseidon and the Fafnir controlling the mid lane so far. And pretty much everything has been chill.
I like the ward coverage from the side of Originals as well. I'm sorry, actually, I misspoke. Omega, having definitely the superior ward coverage at the moment. About twice as many wards on the map as OMG Originals, and including warding up the opposing team's side, which is always a good move early on. Get your side covered on both sides of mid, as well as being able to get the opponent's side. Looks like an ultimate coming out from Fafnir here. Hui is gonna go down to the Scotty ult. Poseidon getting a good ultimate off there, but not able to deal enough damage to secure a kill. But first blood will go in the side of OMG Originals.
Yeah, and that's first blood, guys. Can you believe that? First blood coming around 7 minutes in the game, going in the favor of Scotty. So she's going to have that first blood, 500 delicious gold, guys. And being able to finish off her tier 2 Transcendence. Now,
and
that being
unfortunate
said,
for Hui to be the first blood, too. It's really hurt him a lot.
Duo lane that really sucks when somebody else has a higher gold and XP advantage than you, because with the right plays they can definitely get ahead in that matchup. But as you can see here, the 3-man grouping is finally ready. Jungler, mid, supports grouping up together, but this Erlang on the right side is getting fought by this Robin, and man, are they dealing damage to each other back and forth. Wheelix is right around the corner.
Looks like Wheelix being a little cheeky, trying to sneak in there, but yeah, it's a little too long.
Oh yeah, and pretty much. Oh, here comes a good old Gold Fury, possible steal, but they're gonna be able to confirm their own speed buff. And here comes Erling trying to go on this Raijin. Raijin having to use his beads on the left, or rather in the mid side, but he's gonna be able to get away, no problem. It looks like the Harpies as well are being contested. But there's just team action going everywhere over here. Gold Fury. Oh, there goes the ult from the.
Oh, the Scotty ult.
Yeah, ult from the Fafnir as well. There goes the
Poseidon
ult from the Kraken.
Ooh, doing a lot of damage to Scotty. She's in trouble here. Khepri ult coming out on her. Just in the nick of time. Very good Khepri ult. He dashes away as she is being pulled to him. Very well done from the side of OMG Originals to prevent that kill there.
Yeah, so just seeing as how this continues on for them. Could have got that kill on Scotty, but unfortunately, actually in the mid lane, as I was going to go over, Gambit picks up the kill on the dive
Poseidon
in the mid lane.
going
on the
down.
Poseidon. And pretty much a big grouping here coming out from OMG Originals. Really a different game than before. Remember, at the start, they were kind of down, I believe, 3-2, 4-2, or 4-0 rather, before they picked up their first kill. Right now, they're showing themselves as a different team from game one, and I'm really enjoying to see how OMG Originals are playing this game at the moment. Gets the plug on the Fafnir, going to do some damage, but going to be able to jump away, no problem.
Yeah, a lot more early game pressure from OMG Originals than we saw in the last game. Omega definitely taking a little bit of an earlier lead. So definitely, good to see that from them. Kind of, I wouldn't even say that their team comp is that much more of an early game team comp, but they're just utilizing everything really well, making really good rotations. Pretty standard builds coming out from them so far too. So good to see from them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's see if there's any wonky builds. No, yeah, like you said, pretty standard. Actually,
pretty standard.
is going Transcendence, which is
I would see Devo gauntlets on him preferably. And he didn't decide to stack first this time.
Oh my God! Hold that thought. This Hui and the Wheelix are getting destroyed by this level 13 Scotty. They try to gank her, and they must have regretted it, because even though we got that double bounce, Hui ends up falling to the Scotty. Now here comes the counter rotation as well. Gets the kill. That's a double kill for this Scotty on a killing spree here. That Wiggins did not expect her to come back and hit that one. Fafnir having to be the lone defender of this left side, and they are just putting in some work right now. Scotty is doing great. 21 stacks on her Transcendence.
Scotty is putting in that work. And good rotations from OMG Originals as well to really give themselves an advantage in that lane. While that was going on, Sun Wukong was boxing out that Erlang Shen and almost killed him, so Erlang Shen couldn't do anything to rotate over. And Poseidon's just kind of sitting in that mid lane farming up while you see everybody else on the side of OMG Originals rotating over. So
yeah, they got
Poseidon
that
is going to go down in the mid lane as well.
Oh yeah. So pretty much overall, this game is heavily in the favor of OMG Originals. Like I said, a different game than Game 1 so far. I'm really digging it right now. They really kind of turned it up for themselves. Said, hey man, we play a sloppy Game 1. We need to do better Game 2. And they're really showing it. And I'm really impressed at the moment.
Yeah, everybody on point on their team right now too. From Scotty, Ravana with the good rotations, Sun Wukong just locking down his lane, getting that pressure on Erlang Shen, Raijin getting in the rotations, and Khepri really on point right now as well with his ultimate and rotating as well. So good to see everybody from OMG Originals is playing at their best right now.
Oh yeah, and on the left side, Fafnir trying to make this gank again on the Scotty, but guys, we saw this before, it's not going to work. Beat's going to have to come out from this Hu Yi, and this Scotty is just way too ahead at this point, and the rest of her team is coming through. Here goes that Hu Yi up in the air, and is going to be able to get out no problem. And it's just, I don't understand, like these guys really need to try to focus on the other lanes that they have pressure in, for example the mid and the solo. Trying to go on this Scotty is not doing them any favors. If anything, it's kind of hindering them and making the Hu Yi get a little bit more behind since he has to share the farm with the rest of his people.
Yeah, I agree. At this point, Hu Yi just needs to accept that he is going to be behind, play it safe, stay under tower, get his farm, and the rest of the team just needs to concentrate on the other two lanes at this point. I really feel like we would see a little bit of a difference if it was somebody besides Hu Yi facing that Scotty. With that Scotty pick coming out first, definitely a little bit of a missed opportunity for them to go with a god that could kind of shut Cold down and take that pressure away, because that's where a lot of Scotty's pressure comes from, is that Colder, I mean, if you can take him out early, you're taking out two of Scotty's abilities. So I definitely feel like we would have seen a little bit of a different scenario if it was like Kernanos facing Scotty. I know Izanami got taken out early from the ban, so that wouldn't have been possible, but if it was something like that, would have fared a little bit better than this Hu Yi is right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Right now, what would you say would be the right call for OMG Omega here to turn this game around? Because as we can see here, 5-0 at the current moment. What do you think they should really be doing overall, OMG Omega?
I think they need to concentrate more on the solo lane. You see Erlang Shen getting boxed out a lot in that right lane by that Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong with so much mobility, and it's hard to get him locked down for a kill. I feel like they need to try to concentrate on that mid lane, concentrate on that solo lane, have Hu Yi just play it safe under tower, and try not to die as much as possible, and just kind of try and push objectives a little bit more. Get some of those right side towers. Maybe even look at a portal. Right now it's 15 minutes into the game. Not a bad time to try to make a portal demon call. But a lot of pressure being put on that left lane by both teams. And like you said, it's not really doing them any favors at this point, because he's so far behind. At this point he needs to be able to get that solo farm to be able to get himself back into the game. It looks like they did rotate into that solo lane while I was talking there. And as a result, they did get a kill on that Erlang Shen, so good for them. Or I'm not sorry, on that Sun Wukong from Erlang Shen.
Yeah, overall so far it's, you know, first kill on Omega's board coming up from that Poseidon ult and that picking up for Erlang picking that up. But it's just kind of a game that's going in the favor of OMG Originals. They have up 4K, almost, or rather 3K gold. Let's look at the top damage charts at the moment. Scotty, no surprise there, 10,000 damage already. Top D here, and that's always a great thing to see for an ADC. Now let's go over to the grass. However, 3K gold difference, as we already said, but there's also a 2.6K gold difference, I believe, in the favor of OMG Originals now.
Originals. Yep.
Yeah, so overall, I think what we can see here is that, you know, as time's going to go on, their builds are going to get better. And, you know, I don't really talk too much about the team comps that they had. I do think that as the game goes on, OMG Originals have the better team comp, considering, you know, Raijin puts in so much damage and Scotty also puts a lot of damage as well. But here comes a little cheeky gank on this Poseidon. Remember, he has no escapes, uses that ult. Raijin still has his ult, uses it, gets no body.
Pull from the Khepri, so... And Wheelix a little bit of engaged on this Ravana here. Just kind of driving him back. He's doing a little bit of counter jungling there. It's always frustrating as the jungler to have your farm taken away.
Oh yeah, and no surprise here. Gold Fury call.
Yep.
With that pressure that they have in their lane, you know, going for this Gold Fury seems like the correct try to steal it away, but unfortunately that's not going to work. However, they try to go for this Portal Demon in response, but the rest of OMG Originals are rotating over. They could be able to steal this. This is a 5v3 at the moment, and they end up not stealing it. But
I would have peeled off of that if I was OMG Omega. That was a little bit of a risky move. It looks like they are going to have Erlong Shen go down in response, so not really good trade in my opinion. I feel like as soon as Sun Wukong showed up, they should have just peeled back and given up on it and tried again later.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Especially with that vision on there saying, hey man, they're going for it, we need to rotate over, and knowing that they just got that Gold Fury, no problem. And look at that, tier 1 tower going down. Right now, OMG Originals are just bullying OMG Omega. Like, I know I've said this and I will continue to say this, this is a different game coming out from OMG Originals.
Looks like they're going to try and get a kill on this Hu Yi as well. Maybe not. They were moving in that direction, but they decided to go for the red buff instead. I'm just going to peel back to their side now. Too many members of OMG Omega in the area at this point. So they're just going to kind of go back, farm up.
And just like that, you know, this game is pretty one-sided. I do want to say, but Omega still has a chance to turn it around. Remember, late game, they can do something about it. This Scotty is going in, and nobody can stop her at the moment. Looks like the beats having to come out from the pluck from that Khepri, and tier 1 tower on left side is going to go down. No surprise there, 2v1 at the moment, and now a 3-man rotation coming in on the left side, but they see it coming, and they're running away. A Wheelix, or rather not a Wheelix, Scotty trying to go in on this. Poseidon is pushed up quite heavily. Yes, getting the Aegis, and there she goes, getting that kill. Hui is next, but he's going to be able to leap away. This Robin could possibly get the root onto him and do something about it, but ends up using his one. Fafnir being able to get out, and this could just be a disengage. Overall, a great play coming out from OMG Originals, being able to read the situation and act on it. So good on them, getting that Oracle Vision for... Well, actually, to be honest, when it comes back, that Oracle Vision is going to be long gone. So just getting that XP, getting that red for that Scotty, and Wheelix going to be able to get out. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, even if Gold Fury is not up, it's always good to get those Oracles, get that free ward, free vision, free gold, free XP. I mean, you know, it's there. Take it.
Yeah, exactly. Wheelix being able to confirm her own speed buff. Good for her. But, I'm actually surprised to see that Robin is actually a level behind this Wheelix. Scotty up 4 levels on the Hu Yi. Erling's actually up a level on the Sun Wukong. And look at that, Raijin just putting in a lot of damage. Storm's coming out as well. Beats as well.
In the right lane here.
Unfortunately, Raijin is not going to be able to
Beats
connect
coming out
because
from
she is out of distance.
Ooh, she might be in trouble here. Happy looking
Ooh,
for
and
a
the-
grab. Ooh, good leap. Oh, but she goes down, Ravana.
I actually think I might be ahead of you.
Too good.
So you should press the LB, RB, and up until you get to where I'm at. I'm at 2107 at the moment.
I'm at 21,078. So
Yeah,
that
2113
X.
now. Yeah, I'm a few seconds ahead. Yeah, LB, RB, up on the D-pad.
Oh, I went too far.
Where are you at now?
2145.
Okay, no problem.
I'm
Do
gonna
I dare
pause
do
at
it?
2150.
Okay, cool. So I am at 2140 at the moment. It looks like the blue buff is the call for OMG originals, and hey, taking whatever they can back in, getting the or spending the gold that they have, and just getting whatever XP they can going back. Now the Scotty is level 20 now. I'm actually at 2155. I forgot to pause.
Oh, I'm perfect. I unpaused,
Okay.
thinking, counting the seconds there.
Okay, so I'm paused at 2155.
20.
Let me.
I'm at 2205.06.
Okay, I'll tell you when. I'll pause at 2210, and I'll count
That's
it
what
down from
yep.
there.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
you can unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. And there we go, guys. We are back. We're in sync. This Scotty is taking this red buff. My dogs are barking.
They're liking the game. They're cheering them on.
Oh yeah, dude. They're like, yo, let's go OMG originals. Scotty is putting in work on this. His name is Fafnir, guys, but she's gonna get blown up by 5 people.
A little bit of an
Infinity OMG is gonna be
overstep
able to-
from her there, but she got a little overconfident. She did a lot of damage, but 1v5 is not going to work out.
Oh yeah, and kind of out of position there, being way too far up for her own good and falling, unfortunately. But Fafnir with that great stun on good old Robin, using that curse, but actually I think was out of range, and he's just going to keep chasing him down. Picks up the kill, actually, and that curse is, or rather that Thorns is going to disappear while they go on him. Fafnir is very, very low at the moment. Could be taking this spill, and he will. Robin picking up that double kill, that beautiful double kill. Erling is trying to get away with his turtle form.
Ooh,
But it's
good
not gonna be
stun from
enough.
Capri there, or good root, I should say. Beautifully done.
And
And then the
there's
grab
that,
to
guys.
secure it. And it looks like this tower is going to go down here.
I'm not sure why pings are coming out there saying, hey man,
That's
where we messed up.
Yep.
Oh, well, it's not you're not going to be able to do anything about it. Poseidon is actually pushing this tier 1 in the mid lane while the rest of them are over here fighting it out, or rather trying to take this tier 2 tower. Scotty might be able to get there in time. Let's just kind of check it over. She actually will, so he's not going to be able to get that tier 1 tower, unfortunately. Gold Fury could be the call here while Poseidon goes towards that speed buff side, and it actually is going to be the call. So good for them, going to be able to get that Gold Fury as well as that 1500 gold from that tier 2 tower. Really just taking all this gold that they can and this XP that they can in their favor at 24 minutes in the game.
Poseidon's going to go for the portal here, try and counter again, but it's a little late, and he's just there by himself. He's taking a lot of damage. He's going to have to back off here. Fafnir is in the area, but he's going to try to return, but he's going to get caught out here as the Sun Wukong sees him sprint coming out from Poseidon here to get away.
Looks like they're going to go for this portal. Going to be able to confirm it. Who he's going to try to get away, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Doesn't have bees at the moment and ends up falling to Scotty once again.
He is just getting bullied.
He really is. It's not going in his
Fafnir
favor.
getting ulted again. He's going to pop his ult to try and get away here. Looks like he will get away, just barely. Just barely. Looks like a Fire Giant call from the side of OMG Originals here. It's at half
We're able to
health
get it, no
already.
problem. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be
Not
a
even
contest at
going
all.
to have it contested, no. Very good call from them, knowing that there was not much that OMG Omega could really do about that call there. Really good utilization, and vision on the map too. They had wards all through OMG Omega's side of the jungle on that side of the map. So if they would have contested, they would have seen it coming a mile away.
Yeah, definitely. And now You know, this is pretty much at the point where OMG Originals can end the game. They just need to be
Yeah.
able to kind of, you know, group up, get that mid-tier tower, and I would kind of hope that they go for this left Phoenix first, seeing as how it's the farthest most Phoenix from the Fire Giant, so they're going to be able to have the opportune time to go for it once again if need be. Huyi is actually really out of position, so is the Awilix, so right now this tier 2 tower should be no problem for them at all.
I wouldn't mind them just kind of going down mid lane and getting that mid Phoenix first. They're already there, it's a little bit closer. The Fire Giant having just gone down, they got 4 minutes until it comes back up. That Phoenix would be back up before then anyways. So I don't mind this call going towards mid, and they might end up trying to just end the game right here. They've got two members of OMG Omega down, and they've got Fire Giant buff. That's 3 members of Omega down. 5v2 right now. Titan health is at 50%, 40, 30. That's looking like game, people, and it is.
And that's that, guys. That is game 2 of this set, guys. 26 minutes. OMG Originals end up picking up the win, so that is a split for their round. Congratulations to both teams getting at least 1 win. And that means each one get 1 point for this set. They're going to be moving on to round 2 when they play against their new opponents, which will be decided later on, or rather not decided, will be spectated, watched later on. We are here to watch the next game, though, which is going to be OMG Legacy versus our mid feeds. It's going to be another great game. I am ready to see how this goes, guys. And yeah, I just hope my game didn't freeze, which I think it might
mine's have. No, it's good. Just give it a second. Mine took a little while too. But yeah, game 2 definitely a lot more of a one-sided affair. You see 2 kills to 18. So OMG Originals coming back with a little bit of a vengeance in game 2 here, after letting themselves lose in that first game, really due to one team fight at the end. Really just taking that to heart, playing a really solid game, and yeah, much more of a one-sided affair than we saw a very even back and forth match in game 1.
Oh yeah, and then like you said before, different game from or different match from game 1. Unfortunately, they're, you know, Edge Chaos 0-5, Poseidon 0-6, Fafnir 0-2. Definitely a different game from game 1. I gotta say that MVP of that game was Scotty.
Scotty Miles ahead of everybody in player damage there. And like I was saying, I really think it comes down to that Huyi pick. Huyi just not a good matchup against Scotty. And having the opportunity to see that Scotty pick before they picked up the Huyi, I really have to give that game to Peace and Bees. I mean, I really feel like that played a huge factor in their loss. That lane was just won hard by Scotty early, and it steamrolled the whole game for her. And getting your ADC to the late game phase before everybody else allows you to push those objectives so much quicker than you'd be able to otherwise. And if you had somebody like Kernanos who can take Calder out a lot easier than Huyi, I feel like that would have helped them to win that lane a little bit better, to alleviate some of that pressure from Scotty, and not allow her to snowball so much. So I feel like a little bit of a mispick picking up the Huyi, especially since they did pick him up after Scotty. What's your thoughts on that, Hector?
Yeah, you know what? I do 100% agree with you. I feel like this Huyi pick was very wrong. It brings a lot of good team fight, and that ult is such a great ult. But overall, against the Scotty, even though you can lock her down inside the ult, he wasn't doing that at all in this game. As well as that Calder, you really need to focus him out most of the time, because he is the one doing most of the damage for Scotty, especially when she gets that one combo into that Calder, which I believe does even more damage when she hits that one on the target. And with that ult, who like locks you down for that quick second, can be very brutal. So having a Kern or a Rama would have been a great choice against a Scotty. Although I favor more Kern because of his in-hands that don't make him use an ability compared to the Ram, who needs to use his one, I believe. Yeah, it is the one. So, you know, that being said, unfortunately, that was just it for them. So